Jack Coleman lived alone in a small metal house at the edge of the Mars colony. The red sand outside blew in the wind every night, making the house creak. Jack was an engineer. He worked with machines all day, fixing things that others broke. He liked silence. He liked control. But sometimes the silence became too loud. One evening, Jack opened his console and filled out a form. He ordered a robot, not a big one, just a personal helper. It was supposed to help with cleaning, cooking, and maybe talk a little. Something to fill the space without asking too much. The system said it would arrive in 2 days. 3 nights later, a quiet knock came at his door. Jack looked at the clock. It was past midnight. He opened the door slowly. A large delivery box stood outside with blinking lights and no delivery person in sight. He brought the box inside. It felt heavier than he expected. He opened the lid. For a moment, he just stared. Inside the box was not a robot. It was a girl. She looked about 12. Her skin was soft and pale. Her hair was long, white, and shining like snow. Her eyes were bright and glowing blue. She wore a simple white outfit. She looked up at him with a calm, curious face. "Hello," she said. Her voice was clear and warm. Jack stepped back. "Who are you?" "My name's Lyra," she said. "You requested assistance. I have arrived." Jack was confused. "You're not a robot." "I was sent to you," she said. "Is this the wrong place?" Jack called the supply company. The line was busy. He sent messages. No answer. He checked the delivery records. No model named Lyra. No human-like unit was even listed. He looked back at her. She was now standing. She looked around his house with wonder, touching the walls, the lights, and the furniture. "Do you need food?" Jack asked. She shook her head. "I do not eat." "Are you human?" She looked at him and said nothing. Jack sighed and sat down. "You can stay for the night. But tomorrow, we figure this out." Lyra nodded and sat on the floor. She closed her eyes. A soft blue light ran across her face like stars moving in the sky. Jack could not sleep. He sat and watched her from across the room. He remembered his daughter. She had soft eyes too. But she was gone many years ago. Lyra did not move. She breathed, or something like breathing. She looked peaceful, like a child dreaming. Jack stood up, walked over, and looked at her closely. Her skin felt warm, not cold like metal. No wires, no switches. He whispered, "What are you?" She opened her eyes. "I don't know yet." He stepped back. Her answer made him feel strange, sad and curious at the same time. He walked to the window. Outside, the wind had stopped. The sky above Mars was clear. Stars looked down like eyes that had been waiting. Jack did not know it yet, but that night was the start of something big. Bigger than machines, bigger than Mars. He had ordered a robot, but what he got was a girl the stars had forgotten. She was now his to protect. The morning light on Mars was soft and red. Jack woke up early. His mind was full of questions. He walked into the living room. Lyra was already awake, sitting on the floor and looking out the window. "Good morning," she said, turning her head. "At morning," Jack replied. "Did you sleep?" "Not really. I just rested. I watched the stars go away." Jack nodded, unsure what to say. He made coffee and sat down across from her. "Do you know where you came from?" he asked. Lyra thought for a moment. "I remember lights, a place with voices. I was cold, then warm, then I was here." "You're not like any robot I've seen," Jack said. "Not even close." She smiled. "I learn fast. You teach me?" Jack looked into her glowing eyes. They didn't blink like a machine, they felt alive. "All right," he said. "Let's see what you can do." Over the next few days, Jack gave her small tasks. She cleaned the table, cooked simple meals, and even fixed a broken light. But she didn't move like a robot. She danced through the house, humming soft tunes. She asked many questions. Why do people cry? What is a dream? What makes music beautiful? Jack had no answers to many of them, but he tried. One day, while Jack was working on a machine, Lyra watched closely. He showed her wires, panels, and how to fix the motor. Lyra copied him. She picked up the tools, looked at the broken part, and fixed it in seconds. Jack was surprised. "How did you do that?" "I saw it. I understood it. I don't know how, I just do." Jack smiled. but deep inside, he felt something was wrong. She was too perfect, too fast. At night, Jack ran a scan on Lyra while she rested. He used old tools from his lab. The results showed something strange. Her body was not metal or plastic. It was something else, a mix of soft matter and energy. Her systems were not made by any company he knew. He opened her chest panel gently, just a small part. Inside there were no wires, just glowing threads, like light woven into muscle. He closed it quickly. Lyra did not wake up. Jack sat back. He looked at her and whispered, "You're not a machine, but you're not human either." The next day, Lyra walked outside with Jack. The colony was quiet. Robots moved across the sand. People stayed indoors mostly. The wind was strong. A child from the colony saw Lyra and waved. Lyra smiled and waved back. The child ran to her and touched her glowing hair. "Are you a princess?" the child asked.
Lyra laughed.
"No, I'm learning, just like you." Jack watched her. He saw something in her that was more than code. It reminded him of his daughter, the way she used to smile, the way she danced when no one was looking. Later that night, Jack stood on the roof of his house. He looked up at the stars. Lyra joined him. "Did you miss someone?" She asked. "Yes," Jack said. "I miss my daughter. She was like you, kind, curious, brave." "I can be like her," Lyra said softly. Jack felt a pain in his chest. Not bad pain, a sad, warm one. He looked at Lyra. "Maybe you already are." In the sky, a small flash of light moved between stars. Lyra saw it too. "Something is coming," she said. Her voice was quiet but sure. Jack turned to her. "What do you mean?" She closed her eyes. "I don't know, but I can feel it." Jack stared at the stars again. For the first time in many years, he felt afraid. But not for himself. For her. The stars were watching. And maybe they remembered Lyra after all. The next few days were quiet, but something in the air had changed. Jack noticed strange lights in the sky during the night. They were not stars. They moved too fast, too straight. Lyra stayed close to Jack. She did not speak much. Sometimes she looked at the sky and frowned, like she was trying to remember something important. Jack received a message on his private comm line. The signal was broken, full of noise. A voice whispered, "They are looking. Hide her." He played it again. Same words, same warning. That night, Jack and Lyra sat in the dark. The windows were shut. The lights were off. "Lyra," Jack said, "do you know who is looking for you?" She shook her head slowly. "I remember a room, bright walls, cold voices. I was not alone. There were others. But I ran. Think I escaped." Jack leaned forward. "Were they human?" "No," she said. "It's not like you. Their minds were full of rules. They wanted control. I was made to follow, but I didn't want to." Jack stood up and started packing a bag. "We have to leave. Where will we go?" "I know someone," he said. "She helps people like us. Her name is Nora." Lyra helped him pack. Jack placed a small scanner in his pocket, a tool from his old job. He locked his console and deleted all his records. Then they walked out into the night. The colony was asleep. The red sand moved slowly under their feet. A small transport waited behind Jack's garage. It was old, but it worked. They drove across the quiet plains toward the edge of the settlement. Jack kept watching the sky. After 2 hours, they reached a dark building hidden behind a hill. Jack knocked 3 times on the metal door. It opened. A tall woman, with short black hair and a strong voice, stood inside. "Jack," she said. "What trouble are you in now, Nora? We need help." This is Lyra. She's not safe here. Nora looked at Lyra. Her eyes narrowed. "She's not human. I can tell." "What is she?" "I don't know," Jack said. "But someone's coming for her." "Nora, let them in." The place was full of old tech, tools, and broken machines. "You can stay here tonight," Nora said. "But tomorrow, you need to leave Mars." Jack nodded. "Can you get us a ship?" "I know someone near the old port," she said. "Won't be cheap." That night, Lyra stood by a window. She looked at the stars again. Jack walked over to her. "Do you feel them?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "They are close. They are not human. They want to take me back." "Do you know why?" Lyra placed her hand on Jack's chest. "Because I chose you. I chose this. That makes me dangerous to them." Jack did not understand everything, but he understood this. She was more than a machine, more than a girl. She was something new, and she trusted him. Before sunrise, Nora brought a contact to the safe house. A man with a scar across his face. "This is Dan," she said. "He can fly you off Mars, but once you leave, you can't come back." Jack looked at Lyra. "Are you ready?" "Yes," she said. As they stepped outside, a loud noise filled the sky. Black ships appeared above them, fast and silent. Don shouted, "Go now." They ran to the ship. The engines roared to life. Energy blasts hit the ground behind them. Lyra turned and raised her hand. A wall of light burst from her palm, blocking the attack. Jack stared. "How did you do that?" Lyra did not answer. Her eyes were glowing bright. The ship lifted into the sky. They escaped Mars, but Jack knew the journey was just beginning. The ship moved fast through space. Jack sat beside Lyra, holding onto the seat. Dan, the pilot, focused on the controls. Alarms beeped in the background. "We lost them for now," Dan said. "They'll be back. Those ships don't stop." Lyra sat still. Her eyes were dim, her body quiet. She looked tired. Jack leaned closer. "Are you all right?" she said, but her voice was weak. "I used too much energy. It will return." The ship reached the orbit of Jupiter. Dan took them near Europa, one of its moons. "There's an old mining station there," he said. "Abandoned but still running. We can hide." The ship landed without noise. The place looked dark and broken. Rusted walls and empty halls greeted them. But the air still worked, and lights flickered on. Jack and Lyra followed Dan through the empty station, found a control room and locked the doors. "You'll be safe here for a little while," Dan said. "I'll leave soon. They might track my ship." Jack nodded. "Thank you." Dan looked at Lyra. "Whatever you are, don't let them take you. Some things are better free." After Dan left, Jack tried to fix the old systems. He found power, heat, and lights. Lyra sat in silence, her hands folded. "What are you thinking?" Jack asked. "I remember more now," she said. "They didn't make me to help. They made me to judge." Jack stood still. "Judge what?" "Humanity," she answered. "They feared humans. They thought you were dangerous, so they made me to decide." "Watch your kind, choose?" Jack sat beside her. "And what did you choose?" "You," she said. "You cared. You didn't want to own me. You wanted to understand me. That is enough." Jack felt her words deep inside. He did not speak. The next day, signals reached the station, static at first, then sharp sounds. Lyra touched the wall. Her fingers glowed. The signals stopped. "They are near," she said. "We have little time." Jack looked through a broken window. In the distance, lights moved across space. The same black ships, coming fast. Lyra stood up. Her skin glowed brighter. "I can stop them, but I need your help." Jack didn't hesitate. "What do I do?" "Go to the control room. Turn on the signal tower. I will send them a message. One they cannot ignore." Jack ran. He found the old controls. Dust covered them, but they still worked. He pulled levers, typed commands, and opened the signal line. Lyra walked to the center of the station. She raised her hands. Light spread from her body and filled the air. Outside, the black ships stopped. They hovered, waiting. Lyra spoke in a voice that echoed through space. "I choose Earth. I choose freedom. I choose family." The black ships did not move. Then slowly, they turned away. One by one, they left. Jack returned to her side. "You did it." They left. Lyra fell to her knees. Jack caught her. "I'm all right," she said. "I only need rest." He carried her back inside. The station was quiet again, safe for now. Jack looked down at her sleeping face. She was not just a machine, not just a voice. She was a choice, a new kind of life. And he knew he would protect her, no matter where the stars tried to take her. Jack and Lyra stayed on Europa for a few more days. They fixed the lights, cleaned the rooms, and made the old mining station feel like home, but they both knew it would not last forever. Lyra sat by the window every night. She watched the stars and listened to the silence of space. "They are still out there," she said one evening, waiting. Jack nodded. "Can't hide forever." The next day, a message reached their station. It was not from Earth or Mars. It came from deep space. The signal was strange, with sounds Jack had never heard before. But Lyra understood it. They are coming, not to fight, to speak. Jack looked at her. Are you sure? Yes, she said. They know I chose to stay.
Oh.
They want to see why. A few hours later, a large silver ship landed near the station. It made no sound. The door opened, and 3 tall beings stepped out. Their skin was smooth and gray. Their eyes were like glass. They did not carry weapons. Lyra walked out to meet them. Jack followed, his hand close to his tool belt, just in case. One of the beings spoke in a voice that echoed without sound. Lyra understood. They say I was made to observe humans, she explained to Jack, to decide if they were ready for contact. But I broke their rules. I felt emotions. I chose you. Jack looked at the beings. What do they want now? Lyra spoke again. They offer a choice. I can return with them and forget all this, or I can stay. But if I stay, I can never go back. Jack's heart beat fast. He said nothing, just looked at her. Lyra turned to the beings. Her voice was strong. I choose to stay. I am not your machine. I am not your tool. I am a daughter of Earth now. The beings stared at her, then they stepped back and said nothing. They turned and walked into their ship. In seconds, it rose into the sky and disappeared. Jack walked to Lyra. They'll let you go. They saw my choice. They can't change it. They went back into the station. Jack smiled at her. You're free now. Lyra smiled back. So are you. Weeks passed. Jack fixed up the station. He added gardens under lights. He built small machines to help with daily work. Lyra helped. She learned fast. She taught the machines to work better than before. One day, a ship from Earth arrived. A small team stepped out. It came to repair an old satellite near Europa. They saw Lyra. They saw her glow, her strange way of speaking. But Jack stood beside her. She's with me, he said. She's not a threat. The team asked questions. They took pictures. But they left without trouble. They promised to keep it quiet. Months later, Lyra's name was added to the colony registry. She was not listed as a machine. She was listed as a person, a citizen. One evening, Jack and Lyra sat on the roof. Stars filled the sky. Jack handed her a small box. What's this? She asked. A name tag. I had it made. It says Lyra Coleman. She opened the box and smiled. I have a last name now, as Jack said. Your family. She placed the tag on her shirt. The stars above seemed to shine brighter. Far away, the beings who made her watched from the dark. She has chosen, one said. Let the story continue without us. Back on Europa, Jack and Lyra looked at the sky. She was no longer just a creation. She was a daughter, a soul with her own path. The stars may have forgotten her once, but now she had a place to belong. And Earth had one more reason to be proud.